Hello everyone, we are back with Stardew Valley for a rant. A rant, yes, we love rants. No we don't. Actually, no one does. No one loves them, and neither do I. But I'm gonna make one anyway. So, welcome to today's rant of Deadlock and other stuff. It's gonna be a bit confusing to the people who don't play Deadlock or know what the game is. I've mentioned it a few times, but I'm not too sure how many people actually know what the game is about, and I will try to do my best to explain. Or I will at least try to explain a bit. Don't want this video to be too long. I got Diablo to grind. I want to get back into that. So this is gonna be like a shorter, just a rant video about the Deadlock's new update, how I feel about it from a casual perspective. Because I do wanna clarify at the beginning of this video. I am not a professional Deadlock player. I am not a professional. I'm not good at the game. I just enjoy the game for what it is. It's a cool third-person MOBA. I like the game. It's fun, or it can be fun. Although the latest patches have been a bit rough, in my opinion, in terms of how much fun you can actually have in the game. I have around 1,000 games, 500-ish hours. I've played it a bunch, but I'm not a professional. My words and how I feel about this game or these updates recently that have been released will obviously be different to what you feel yourself. Everyone has their own opinions. I am here to share mine, just in a public way, because I kind of wanted to record anyway today, because it's again been 3 days. I want to keep up the schedule, you know how it is. I just want to do my thing. So I figured it'd be a good way to just ramble about the updates that have been going out, how I feel about it myself, and why I kind of just don't like where they've been going recently. Obviously, some of the stuff that I'm gonna talk about will probably be changed in the future, because the ranked mode is a newer thing for the game. It's obviously not finalized. There's gonna be changes. I can't blame them for that, but I at least want to give some insight on how I feel about it. If that ever makes a difference, which I highly doubt. I'm just here to share my own words anyway. Don't really care what happens. Because I don't really play the ranked mode. I really don't. I only did my placements of 8 games, won like 3 of them. It was arguably the most miserable time I've had with the game. It genuinely was the worst time I have ever had playing Deadlock. It really has. But we go back a bit and we start from the beginning, when the update came out. Obviously, in the beginning there was no ranked mode, like I said, didn't exist. And the base game already had a really annoying update come out, where they buffed a character called Haze. I think it still works a bit in the same way she did then. I think it hasn't been changed. At least, no, I think it has been changed. It's at least been made a bit more better compared to what it was. But there was this patch to a character called Haze, where she has like this knife she can throw, and it sleeps your character, and then she can do just a lot of damage. Obviously, because your character slept, you can't do anything. You're just kind of stuck there. Unless you get woken up by a damage threshold or just a timer. And I don't remember how it was before the update came out, because I just don't play Haze. I really don't. I play a lot of Flash, Silver, Page, Viscous, in recent times, if you guys remember when I talked about Viscous. So I don't really play too aim-heavy characters because I don't trust my aim too much. I just play what I find fun and enjoyable, like the movement characters, or if they just look cool, if they have a fun gameplay loop. You know, like Shiv, I would like to play. It's a really difficult character, but it has cool movement, cool abilities. So, I'm not like the #1 Haze player in the world. But they gave Haze this thing where once you level up your knife ability enough, you can get this thing called fixation stacks, which basically increases her damage output towards the character she is shooting at. The more stacks you have, the more damage you do per bullet. And they gave her this thing where if you have I think it was a tier 2 knife, you get 15 stacks per knife hit. Now obviously this effect isn't permanent, it does disappear, like the stacks do disappear if you don't shoot them for long enough. It is on a timer when it's gonna disappear. But they made it so you get 15 stacks from her knife when you hit it. And I don't think this was a thing before, I don't remember, like I said, I don't play Haze, I don't really give a damn about her updates. I just don't find her fun to play against because there's just a really minimal counterplay towards her going invisible and then just shooting a knife in your back and killing you instantly. A lot of people say just buy counter items, but you can only counter so much in the game, especially during like busier fights. And if you're obviously just going around the map, getting boxes, getting souls, shooting enemies, whatever you're doing, it's really easy to be caught off guard really fast if you're not always being extremely schizophrenic and paying attention to every little move around the map, which I, as a more casual player who just plays the game, listens to music in the background and just wants to play it for fun, really doesn't do. I really don't wanna be overly active when I'm there to play a game for enjoyment instead of trying too hard. Like when I say enjoyment, I don't mean it as in, oh, I'm just there to throw everyone's games. I'm just there to make everyone else have a bad time on my team, and I'm just there to be worthless. No, I don't mean that. I mean that I'm just there to have a fun time, still try, but I'm not there to try my hardest, put in my 100% of every single ounce in my body for a video game. Because they're meant to be fun. It's a standard mode nowadays. I can start saying that if you're trying so hard, just go play ranked. That's how it is. But I don't purposely throw games. I don't do that. If I just have a bad game, I have a bad game, and I can't do much. But it's really easy to catch you off guard when you're not paying attention much. And nowadays, when you get hit by that knife, you get 15 stacks, which does a ton of damage early game. And this has already been a thing, I think, before, where you use Echo Shard on the knife, which basically just refreshes the ability cooldown. But now it's even worse, because you get the stacks from the knife, right? So you have basically 2 knives worth of 30 bullets worth of stacks that sleep the player, do damage to the player, and lets you do free damage to them immediately. Because they can't do anything unless they somehow predicted that you're gonna sleep them just in that moment and reacted to it with an ability or an item to make them invulnerable. Such as unstoppable, or maybe they just have indomitable. You know how it is. Stuff like that. So you get 30 stacks in basically 2 seconds for free for doing nothing except then just hitting your 2 knives. Which the second knife is easier to hit, obviously, because your target isn't moving anymore. So as long as you hit that first knife, you're basically gonna get free 30 stacks every time. And I hated it. It felt so miserable to just be wandering around the map and somehow not paying attention for a split second and seeing that I am either extremely low or that I am just dead. It's not fun when that happens. Obviously, Haze isn't played in every match, which is a great thing. And a lot of the other characters are way more worse than Haze in the current set of the game, with the patches and changes they've done. But with that out of the way, that was one of the worst patches I think I've had to experience with the game for now. But then we have the ranked update. They pushed out ranked into Deadlock, which was a thing that a lot of people wanted. And to be fair, I kind of wanted it too, because it's gonna make the standard matches more bearable, because there's obviously not gonna be really scuffed matchmaking, because the game didn't really have a matchmaking system too much, other than like your more fake rank that you had when just by playing the game. I think I was like Archon 1, a Mystery Star, or Regionalist Star, which one it was after, or like before Archon rank, I forgot which one it is. But I was like around there. I was like Archon 1 in the game. And they pushed out the ranked mode, which forces you to first, I think, have 15 wins on 3 characters. You need wins to be specific, not just games, you need wins, 15 wins, which is a lot of wins. And on paper, this sounds like an amazing thing. They're forcing the player to learn the game, to learn the characters, so they can push out more victories on the character they are playing to get ranked as that character. But then it puts out the question that if you are not performing well and you still win the game, did you learn your character? Or were you practically just boosted by better players on your team? Which, then when you start thinking of it like that, it makes it seem really bad. Because 15 wins is a lot of wins. You guys have to understand that a singular game can take up to an hour very easily, if it's a close match or something like that. Some games end in like 30 minutes, other ones end in an hour. And you need that on 3 characters to at least even queue the game mode in the first place, so it's a lot of games, it's a lot of wins, and luckily I already had 4 characters ready for wins. I think I had Lash, Page, Silver, and Venator, who I basically never played, because like I said, I can't aim. I mainly just played Venator because he's just a fun character. He's cool, he's fun. I like his ultimate. I like the grenades. It's a fun character, you know. I just play it for fun. That's what it is. But never in my life, like my friend, okay, this is gonna be a bit of a story. My friend is a bit more competitive. He likes to win, which I can understand, because losing an hour-long game is just not fun to anyone. Neither to me, but he tries a lot more. I mean, he's also way better than I am at shooter games or competitive games. I'm not really good at them. Only competitive games I've played are, well, competitive-ish is TF2, CSGO, Overwatch, Deadlock, League of Legends, fucking Heroes of Storm. Like, I have experience in MOBAs, in shooter games, but I was never the competitive type of player because I knew that I don't have enough interest in myself to try to push to a higher rank in a video game. Because I've always loved just playing games for fun, and I've always thought that trying too hard just makes the games unfun for me. They really do. Like, I want to keep myself at a more lower level so that I can have more fun in the game when I play ranked with friends. And again, this brings up the fact that obviously I'm not there to throw. I still try. In Overwatch, I peaked like Diamond, I think, on tank. I don't remember. That was like the one time I tried in some shape or form. CSGO I was really bad at. I didn't perform too bad, but I never ranked up high. I think I was like Gold Nova back in CSGO or something, because I was really bad at that game. I'm not good at it. Deadlock, like I said, Archon 1 at best. And like League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, TF2, never played any ranked modes in them, but it's mainly there for the experience that I have with those types of games. So like I have an understanding of MOBAs, how they work, what I should do, counter buying, buying items, how to farm, you know, I have like experience. And I remember when I tried to queue with my friend in the ranked mode of Deadlock, we noticed that we cannot queue together because you have to play calibration matches alone, which was a worrying realization that I had to play Deadlock alone for 10 games, not 10 games straight, 8 games straight. I think it used to be 10, but I think they lowered it. So I had to play a lot of games of Deadlock alone. And I don't really play Deadlock alone. I'm usually always talking with someone when I'm playing it. Or in some shape of contact, like I'm actively trying to talk with a person while playing the game, because I just don't like playing by myself. So when I came to the realization that I have to suffer through Deadlock games alone, I was not too happy about that. The first game when I decided, okay, my friend wants to play ranked, I guess I just have to pull through. I'm just gonna play the matches, I'm not gonna cry about it, I'm just gonna go in there, just do what I always do, listen to music, play the game, and just try to win. You know? Because like I said, I play more supportive characters, such as Paige, you know? Like I have... Basically every game I played of Deadlock, I always had Paige. Just fully high priority. Every time, because I knew that I cannot carry games. I don't have that in me. Unless I get really fed on the lane, obviously. Because I'm not that good at the game. So, as a person who had mainly support heroes on their roster, and then, like, I never even got to play Lash in my games, because the one time I would have been able to, he was banned, couldn't play Lash. Arguably one of my favorite characters in the entire game. I played a few games on Silver, I played a Venator game, and then I just mostly played Paige or Silver. because those were the two characters that I was really comfortable with playing, instead of being able to play like Venator, who I'm not really comfortable with, or Lash, who I just couldn't ever play in those games. So the first game I played, the first match that I played, I have never, in my entire time of playing competitive or ranked games, I have never felt more miserable and more flamed in my entire life. Even League of Legends or CSGO Overwatch, they don't even come close to the amount of shit that I had to hear when playing a MOBA game. In no shape or form I have ever been flamed this much, and for no reason at all. They're just there to be angry. I had this person on my team when I was playing Page on the first match of Ranked. I think it was a Ritualist lobby, which is gold rank in the game. So it's kind of like in between the ranks. It's like the kind of around the middle spot of the ranked mode. And in the first minute of my game, my lane teammate dies, immediately flames me, says, "What am I doing? Why am I not doing this or that?" When it's very clear that the game has just started. I don't have the abilities that they are speaking of that I would need to be using. And that entire match basically turned into just absolute cyberbullying towards every other person on my team when they were the ones playing bad. Now I think a lot of people who have played MOBAs or competitive games know that there's always that one person who never likes to flame themselves when they play poorly. And this was that exact person. It was, like I said, the most miserable time in my life that I have, and because I'm playing a lot of support characters, I get flamed a lot, because obviously I'm trying to help the team, I'm trying to keep them up, I'm trying to make do. But when someone decides to play bad, it's really hard to help them out. Now, we lost that game, to no one's surprise probably. There was one good thing about that game, was when my lane mate decided that, oh, it'd be a great idea if I start flaming me in all chat to fucking everyone in the game. But I got defended to fucking hell and back by the entire game. Even the whole enemy team got my back. I felt so happy at that time, because I knew that they weren't there to talk shit. They knew I was playing well-ish, because they even said that I'm doing good. I've been saving a lot of people in the match. I'm helping them out, you know. I'm doing my best as a support. So it felt really great to actually be noticed that I'm performing well, when I knew that I'm doing everything I can to help said people in my team. So it was a nice feeling. It really was. Because not often do support players get recognized for doing things, because the support thing is usually everyone is always playing their own game. But the thing with supporting is that it's basically only you who will see the people you save, and it's also your job as a support to recognize when someone is about to die, so you can help them. Even if they think, oh, let me just push in here, I'm sure I won't die, I'm sure I'll live. it's still a thing for you to recognize if they're gonna live or not, and you can save them. Which I did. Like, I'd say I have an alright understanding of when things are gonna go bad to my team or when they're not. Like, I can recognize when someone is playing stupidly and I want to save them, and if they flame me for saving their life, then that's on them. Because if I didn't save them, they'd flame me. If I save them, they might flame me for thinking that I am stupid for dragging them out of a fight, then they are most definitely gonna lose. You really can't win when you're playing support, that's how it is. But the thing is, I queue for another game, I get to play Silver. It's a fun game, no one's really flaming anyone, but the team difference is so incredibly big. I have a person on my team going like 12 deaths in almost 10 minutes. I don't remember how that match really went, because it was my first, like my second game, and then I took like a few days break, and then I went back to Deadlock ranked. I finished my last placement, so I don't have all the statistics pulled up, obviously, because I'm not that, it's not that deep, you know. But it makes you wonder, with the fact that you have to have 15 wins on a character, you'd expect people like I think Yoshi and the dev team for Deadlock thought. I think they thought that, oh, this is a good way for people to get used to their character, know what they're doing, know how to play the game, have an understanding of when it's dumb and when it's smart to go in. But a lot of people just feed. They really do. They rack up that death counter, the enemy team gets absolutely fed, and we just lose. We get left behind and it's just over. And then that's the moment when I start wondering, what is the point of the 15 win system when it's very clear that my team is not understanding basic mechanics of the game. Or maybe they're just having a bad day. Like I said, you never know what's going on the other person's POV, because you can't really look at that. So you have no idea. Maybe they're just having a bad day, maybe a bad match. Who knows? But we did win. I think, like I said, I think I won 2 or 3 games. I think one was on Page and the other one was on Silver, or Page again. Don't remember. But it really just wasn't a fun time. And like I said, it was arguably the most I have ever seen people flame each other in a video game. Because, first of all, it's a MOBA game. So people who played other MOBAs wanna get in on it. And if you know anything about MOBA games, you know that they can be really toxic. People can get way too serious about how the match is going and what's happening. And that's exactly what happened. A lot of the people who play Deadlock are arguably one of the most rude people I've ran into in a video game. Because it's MOBA players, it's people who like playing shooter games also, who are trying to get into the genre. Which I'm honestly really happy about. It's cool that people get into MOBA games. They're really fun. They can be a lot of fun. Characters are cool, interactions, the lore, the abilities. There's a lot of cool things that happen with MOBA games that a lot of regular shooters just don't have. But obviously, because the game is in beta, there's still a lot of things that just don't really work out. And I'm hoping that they do something about this ranked update, that a lot of people talk about it, so they can realize that there needs to be some adjustments, there needs to be some more work done. And obviously it's not a bad update, because the old matchmaking was really screwed, it was really bad. And I was really happy that we have a separate game mode for ranked now, because it makes it more fun for the more casual players, such as me, to just play the game and enjoy it. So there's a lot of good things that come out of just the fact that we have a ranked mode in this game now. But at the same time, now those standard matches are gonna be screwed, because there's gonna be a lot of smurfs who wanna get more counts into ranked, and they're just gonna stomp every game. So there's like a good in-between with how the game is gonna go now, because you need to get wins to get your characters up, and people can just make new accounts. So there's like a good and a bad thing. Obviously you can't escape smurfs, they are always gonna happen in games, you can't do much about it other than just live with it. But I feel like that 15 win threshold is definitely too much for the ranked game, thinking about just the fact that you need 3 characters with 15 wins at least to even queue the game mode. And to anyone with basic math can immediately realize that that is a lot of games, and it's even more games than you think if you can't win. Because you have to win. So I feel like it should be lowered to like 10, 5 wins per character. Around there maybe, 5 to 10 wins, because that'd be a lot better just overall, because I think it can be a really draining experience to play the game that much, even if it's like a really winnable game and then you lose. It's just not gonna be fun. People are gonna get really toxic, they're gonna get really angry at each other. You know, there's always the good and the bad with these things. And obviously the 15 wins thing is gonna make people play characters they don't want, like I have experience with, seeing this in action, because there's this really funny thing that happened. I was playing the matches with my friend, or the ranked mode, to get more character wins, and we had this dude on the enemy team who was complaining about their character Sinclair, because they don't like playing Sinclair. So my friend just asked really casually, like, then why are you playing him if you don't like the character? And his answer to that was just, it has the most wins, so I'm gonna play him. He's the closest to getting a character to ranked, so I'm just gonna play him, so I can queue ranked. And that's obviously really fair if you want to do that. If you have a character close to wins, then why wouldn't you queue that character to get to ranked mode? But then that's gonna make people have to play characters that they really hate and are really bad at, which in return might throw the game for those people who are playing ranked, on the other hand trying to actually push up in rank. Here's a good example of this. We had a Grey Talon on the enemy team who went about 12 deaths in the game, and he was basically like the Sinclair, saying that, oh, I hate this character, I'm gonna play it just to get the win, so I can get this out of the way and just queue into ranked with other characters I play. And I told him that you do realize that you need to get wins, and that you kind of have to then play the character eventually anyway in ranked mode when you queue. Because there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna play those characters that you really like. If they're really popular, like Seven, Warden, Lash, etc. You will be forced to play this character that you hate, and it's gonna make you basically throw the game if you're not good at it. You know? So I never really understand what the point of it is when you are trying to get ranked, but then you're playing characters you hate. You know? I just don't really understand the point. I really don't. But I think that's about it for the rant. I'm really sorry if I kept like jumping around with conversations and what I'm like talking about, because I really don't write any scripts for these videos. I just talk about things, and I might not really make the most sense, because I mean it's a ramble after all. It's not something you're supposed to take into heart. No, it's nothing like that. I'm just here to talk my talk, and you guys are just here to listen. Now obviously this is probably gonna get some clicks, because it's gonna sound like a really clickbaity title, and I'm just hoping that it doesn't go as poorly as when I made that Ultra Kill review, because I got fucking hunted down by the fandom and the people who play that game, because it's a whole nother can of worms talking about the Ultra Kill fandom and the people around it. That's not gonna be this video that I want to get into. But I'm hoping that we can all agree on the fact that we all have our own opinions on updates, we all have our own ideas and thoughts on how the game should be working, how it should go about, what updates are just incredibly poor, what updates are really good. And I think we can all be normal about this conversation, if we have any. But again, I'm gonna preface this, I am a casual player of games. I don't play them for the competitive scene anymore. I have never been too good at games. I just play them for fun. I play them with friends. And I try to have a good time. I'm not there to try my absolute ass off every single game. But that doesn't mean that I'm there to throw games. I'm still gonna try, but I'm not gonna give it my all, because I just don't have that enough interest. And the only reason I even got to ranked mode, or even pushed ranked mode open, is because my friend wants to play it. So that was the whole reason for why I even had to go get it done. Now I did do my placements, as I said, I did do all of my placements. And I placed in bronze, even though I played ritualist games like every match, which is gold rank. So I placed 2 ranks lower than every single game I had to sit through. Even though I'd say I performed well enough in most games. There was obviously some games that I had that were just really bad. I didn't do good in them, and I can say that very confidently, because I can recognize it. I can recognize that I had some bad games. But most of the losses, I can blame myself for some of them, but then again, I'm mainly playing support, so I can only do so much, right? Like I'm trying to play supportive characters, buying counter items like Curse Relic, Knockdown, buying shield items, buying healing items, Rescue Beam, Healing Nova I've been using a lot actually recently. Like my main go-to healing items have just been Healing Nova and Rescue Beam with like healing tempo and stuff like that, you know. And people do appreciate it. It's good to see an okay support in your games, and it's always fun seeing, you know, other people just kind of blasting, performing well while I'm just kind of in the sidelines trying to help my team, support them, you know. But it's just not the most fun time I've had with a ranked update because I don't know, that it just feels like they've like I can see the good in the ranked update, but it also feels like they have done something also kinda bad about it. And I can't really pinpoint what it is fully. Maybe it's how the rank system works, and how flawed it can be, because there's obviously gonna be people who are way better than the rank they're saying is. There's gonna be smurfs always, you can't escape them. No. A lot of things go behind ranked modes, and then you also have to understand that the game is still in open beta. Or not open beta, they're like in an invite-only beta. So updates, patch notes, character fixes, ranked fixes, matchmaking fixes, they're always gonna happen. And they just have to find their footing on what's a good, like, well-received update for that, you know? Like, once they find their footing on the update of like, oh, this is like a good version of matchmaking, I guess we could keep this for matchmaking because it's really well received, or something like that, you know? Like, they always have to find their footing, and we have to understand that. The game is still in not open. I keep saying open beta because it really feels like it. There's so many people constantly playing the game. It's like 60,000 active players, always. I really keep thinking it's an open beta, but it's not. It is still an invite-only beta. But it's really hard to just enjoy the game when you get those people on your team who really just feed. And this is the thing with like other MOBA games that I really like, mainly Heroes of the Storm. I think that's a really well put together MOBA game. It really is. And I'm gonna explain to you guys why I think that. I think that Heroes of the Storm is a really well-made MOBA game because that game doesn't have levels specific to only you. And what I mean by this is that if you play like League of Legends, Deadlock, Dota, I don't remember how it was in Dota, but you know, League of Legends, Deadlock, you have your own level that you gain, and you get abilities, you get money for kills, you get levels for kills, you just get a lot of things for killing the enemy. And if you have a teammate who really isn't there, and just kinda feeds to the enemy team constantly, you're gonna very quickly realize that you're gonna be left behind, your team's gonna be down a lot of money, gonna be down levels, and you're just gonna get overrun when you have a singular teammate or two teammates who just absolutely feed, and then they cry about their other team being bad instead. Like, there's so many things that go on with MOBA games. Uh, that it's just really annoying. But I think that's it for this rant. I'll have you guys know that I'm probably not gonna record for a bit because um I'm still sick. I am still sick. I've been sick. Yesterday I started to feel really bad. My throat's been hurting a lot. I have like a feverish feeling. I've just not been feeling well. And I might take a bit of a break to just do my own thing, kind of relax. I've been playing a lot of Diablo mainly nowadays to just kind of chill, watch some YouTube in the background. I've been running this Crusader build, Ages of Valor, which is really fun. Like I think it was like Fist of Heavens or something. It's such a fun build, and I'm probably gonna go play more of that. I kind of have a goal for Diablo currently that I want to push through, which is to get like top 100 on the leaderboards. So I'm gonna start working on that, and I just want to say I love all of you guys. Please keep it civil if you're gonna talk about something in the comments about this entire video. I would much appreciate if we can keep everything level-headed and just civil. But with that being said, I'm just a dude who rambles, who rants about how he sees or how he feels about a game. Uh, don't take my word to heart. Take it always with a grain of salt. We all have our own opinions. Uh, but with that being said, I'm gonna go play Diablo. I'm gonna upload this video. It's almost been an hour-long rant. And I'm just gonna go chill. I'll see all of you guys later. Take care of yourselves. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.